Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Michael,
I'm Noah.
and we are the Knights of Entertainment, a podcast covering your favorite and unknown movies, games, comic books, anime, and more weekly. We appreciate you being here and hope you enjoy the show. This is what we are covering tonight.
The 2001 movie Baby Boy.
But before we do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can enjoy the show on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, Odyssey, and more. We also have membership tiers on those platforms if you'd like to support the channel, or you can check out buymeacoffee.com/KOE podcast.
All right, let me start off with a story of the flea market today. That shit was fucking wild. I made it a hard rule never to go to the bathroom after 7 o'clock at the flea market because that's when the people come out to drink. It's like 6 to 7, 8, 9, 10 till they close, basically. So it's like, don't go into the floor. Like, I've been there one time. There was piss all over the floor. Almost fucking fell. Never again. So it's either before 5, it's either before 6 or never. I go to the supermarket next door. But today, for some reason, I just didn't drink that much, so I didn't have to go. I was there from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. And God, I didn't even get to leave till like 8:13, 8:30. But it was 7 o'clock. We were closing up. And I was like, I got to go. I get bending over to pick stuff up, and like it was squeezing my prostate to get, you know what I mean? Like,
Your bladder.
yeah. Damn. So I go in there, and you go down, you go into the, it's just open. There's no fucking door, but it's like, it goes in and turns into like an L shape.
Kind of like a mall bathroom then.
Yeah. So I go in, I turn right, I left. There's a bunch of stalls. There's like all dudes pissing, just fucking screaming, whatever. So I go past all those urinals and into another little like door frame, and there's the sinks, and to the right is all the stalls. There's 4 of them. And in the first fucking stall, there's a dude dead asleep in the fucking underneath the stall. Like he's asleep on the floor in the stall, and his bare ass is sticking out of the gap at the bottom. I'm like, God, he is fucking out. There's all these guys, because there was a bunch of dudes around the sink. I'm like, what the fuck are they? I thought they were waiting for the open of the stall. There's only 4 of them. But no, they're just watching this motherfucker just fucking snoring. He is out. I go into the fucking bathroom because the 3rd stall was open. And like there's no lock on that stall, so I got to hold it and my dick at the same. I got to hold the door and my dick at the same time. But I ain't got time for this games today. And the fucking security comes in. I come out. There's like fucking 50 dudes watching this guy get picked up. And like he was in a fetal position on the floor, right?
Yeah.
When he got up, the motherfucker was 6'2". I'm like, yeah. Like one of those little shrink toys that you throw in the water and they fucking expand.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like when he got up. He's fucking drenched in piss. And just fucking tall as hell. He was out. He was out of it. He's like Rocky getting knocked out. He didn't know where he was. The fucking security guard was slamming the door to wake him up. He was like he was like, it was like I could hear the slamming like more than the music, and you can always hear the music no matter where you are. So they woke him up, and then I'm trying to like, I don't give a shit, right? I like the story, but like I got my stuff to do. So I fucking pulled and pushed 2 dudes out of the way to get into the sink to wash my hands. And then when I turn around, all 50 guys are gone. Everybody's fucking gone.
That quick?
That quick. They just came for the spectacle.
Was that all a figment of your imagination here?
No.
Like just a mirage of...
It was fun. I was like, fuck, this is why you don't go to the fucking bathroom after 6 o'clock. God damn.
You run into crazy
I
shit.
broke my own rule, and look at this shit. The last time this happened, some guy got mugged in the bathroom. They fucking ripped he was drunk, and they ripped his fucking pocket from his pocket where people, feel your pocket, right? They ripped it from where you're holding your hand down to his fucking ankle. That was just a fucking huge ass fucking cut, like rip all the way down, and he came out the fucking bathroom like, I don't know what happened. Looking like a fucking fool. Fucking pants, his underwears. I'm glad he had underwear.
At least he didn't go commando.
God, I've seen so much dick in that bathroom. God, dang it. The stalls they're not properly walled to the side, right?
Yeah.
And dudes stand real far back, like they're trying to piss contest. I've seen so much dick. I saw dick as I was leaving the bathroom. The guy couldn't hold it. He came in. He already had his pants down. When he turned the corner, his dick was just out. I'm like, God dang. I've seen so much fucking dick in real life.
And it's unwarranted, dick.
It's just all of it's unwarranted. Oh man, don't ever go to the bathroom in a flea market after 7 o'clock if they have a club there. There is just too much drinking.
Plus, you're on the south side of Oklahoma City, which is ghetto.
In the ghetto. I'm gonna watch the new episode, the new trailer for the new South Park special on Paramount Plus is coming out.
Oh, I see. It's gonna be wonderful.
I'm gonna watch that on the 27th, baby. So anyway, Baby Boy, 2001, written by John Singleton. It's pretty much followed the exploits of a character named Joseph Jody Summers. I think that's his last name. Let me check. Jody. Yeah, Jody Summers. And it's just basically just there's no real like linear story. It's like just like little happenings in his life, his family, his friends. So it's just like a slice of life, basically, like a little bit more hardcore than like you say your Hank Hill,
Right.
the King of the Hill slice of life. It's like, you know, in the South Central, all the gang life and whatnot. And he's 20 years old. He's basically a bike mechanic. He just fixes bikes and
Just bikes or regular bikes.
like bicycles.
Bicycles.
Yeah, basically. He still lives with his mom, and he's got 2 kids from 2 different women. Yvette is his current like girlfriend that he like really loves, the love of his life, and this other girl named Peanut, and the little girl's name is their kid's named Little Nut. Is what it says it's what it says in the Wikipedia. Like a young woman named Peanut with whom he also has a daughter, Little Nut. I'm like, okay, their little daughter's name is Little Nut. Whatever,
Nut.
the weirdest shit ever. And so, you know, he's got no job. He's got no prospects. He's just living like that. That's why it's called Baby Boy, because he's like the immature, irresponsible, an adult, but you're not an adult, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so basically the catalyst for the change in his life is his mom gets a new boyfriend named Melvin. You know Ving Rhames? It's fucking Ving Rhames. That big, muscular, just like, yo. So the reason that it says Jody is because his older brother was kicked out of the house by his mom's last boyfriend, and his brother ended up dying on the street. I guess in a gang activity, maybe.
Violence, yeah.
No, I don't think it already said. And I think he said got shot. That's it.
Oops.
I don't know.
It's South Central.
I don't know, man. I've never been to L.A.
And you've never really been to the hood except for the flea market either, so.
Hey, man, that's enough for me. All the stabbings and fucking beat up I've seen, god dang.
I grew up in the hood, so I've seen all this shit.
It ain't my life. Although don't take me for one that does not observant of the situation. I will dip immediately if I sense any danger. Grab my aunt, my cousin, we're gone. But so he's worried that's gonna the same problem's gonna happen to him. He's gonna get kicked out of the house, and so he keeps clashing with Melvin.
Right.
And he's worried that Melvin's gonna mistreat his mom or all sorts of stuff. And then one night when he's Melvin stayed the night over, like the first night staying over at their house. Oh God, Melvin and his mom, her name is Juanita, but they call her Nita, I guess. They are just fucking away in her room. Like I'm talking about, like they were just going off. Like you can hear it over his music that he had turned on and their music that they had turned on, and they're still. And he's like, all right, let me teach you this new move called the African squat fuck. And I'm like, God damn, let me write that down. So the next morning, Jody goes into the. Oh, by the way, I won't tell you like a whole like linear story. I'm just going to tell you my favorite bits and pieces, which I love to do. Jody goes into the kitchen and he sees Melvin cooking breakfast. Right, and Jody's the first reaction was like, I'm like, damn, Jody, what's the matter? I guess he was upset that Melvin was there.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to the fridge to get some Kool-Aid, and he grabs the container with the Kool-Aid, and it's like almost all empty. And like as the perfect fucking segue, you see Melvin take a huge drink of Kool-Aid from his cup that he has. He's like, Kool-Aid. Just to let him know that Melvin took the last of the Kool-Aid. So then Jody's like, fuck. He throws the Kool-Aid in the fridge, he slams the door, and when he does, you see why he was fucking so upset. Melvin's butt-ass naked in the kitchen. Fucking just butt-ass naked. I'm like, God dang, that's an ass that could crack a walnut. What's weird is he was butt ass naked, right? But he still had socks and sandals on, like long fucking, like all the way up to your like knee socks on. I'm like, God, what do you have socks and sandals on? That's weird. Because he was fucking ass naked.
Yeah.
Like I would just assume you'd be ass naked. Let me tell you a theory. You feel more naked with socks on and nothing else than completely naked. I guarantee it. Be completely naked for like 5 minutes and then put some socks on and nothing else and then see how you feel. You'd be like, this feels even nakeder. And it sounds impossible.
I can see that there.
I've felt the sensation and it's weird. And I've seen posts on online. People say the same thing. It's an odd sensation. So yeah, him and Melvin keep clashing. And so one day, fucking Jody thinks like he's got Melvin. It's like, hey, have you told my mom about your 2 kids? And he's like, Melvin's like, oh, she knows about him. It's like, oh, really? Because I went to your son's school, and he wanted nothing to do with you. Apparently, all you did was beat his mom black and blue. Like he just goes off on him, right? And then Melvin's like, you can see Melvin's getting mad because every time he gets mad, he starts tapping his face or something. He tries to control himself. So Jody finally thinks Jody's fucking being a douchebag. He's like laying back in one of those recliners, and he's like just like he's like the Godfather. Like that's right. Tell him this whole story, and then Melvin starts to go out the door, right? And Jody's like, yeah, bitch, get out of my house. And out of nowhere, Melvin comes in and gets him in a fucking chokehold. And like the first thing that Jody yells, Mama, say that's right, cry to your mama. And I'm like, oh, good job, Jody. And he is just choking the shit out of Jody. And he tells him, like, the only reason I haven't cracked down on you is out of respect for your mother. But if we were back in prison, because Melvin's been to prison, I would have put you on your knees and fixed the situation. I'm like, you would have raped Jody? What the fuck? They went into a weird, like, he like a little chocolate sprinkle and fucking licks his forehead. Looks at the top of his head. It got weird. So then you hear Juanita coming in from the hallway, and she's like, what you guys up to? And Melvin backs away from Jody and then fucking slaps him in the back of the head. And then Jody gets off the fucking couch. And then Melvin's looking there. He looks guilty, but Juanita doesn't react. He just hugs and kisses Melvin, and Jody's in the So she's like, could you go, hey, Melvin, can you get me some cigarettes from the store? He's like, no problem. And so she leaves, and she's like, I'll be right back. Hey, Jody, you want anything? And you want anything from the store? That's the funniest scene in the whole movie. Like it was nothing happened. Like, you want anything from the store? Like, it's just a regular way of interacting. So another time, Jody and his friend Sweet Pea, who is basically Cuba Gooding Jr.'s brother. I think it's Omar Gooding, maybe. It looks like a Gooding.
Yeah.
I know they're related.
No, they're not at all.
I would feel so bad. So they're pretty much shit talking Melvin, and Melvin's just walking around the hallway into and out of the bathroom, back out again. And he comes up and he like after they say some shit, like Jody's like, I hope he hears me too, and Melvin's like, I hear you. And Melvin comes out of the fucking bathroom, and then he teaches them a lesson, like, or he gives them like a TED talk. He's like, here's the problem with you young folks. All you guys worry about is butter. But you should be worried about guns. Like, and he starts going into some fucking weird tangent, which makes 100% sense, I guess. I don't know about the guns and butter part. Basically, he says like they should be focusing on guns, which is stocks and bonds and like art stuff that appreciates over time, so they have value. But instead of focusing on butter, which is cars, clothes, jewelry that just fucking, I guess devalue, depreciate. I don't know if jewelry depreciates, does it?
Well, it doesn't really have a true value as it is.
Wow.
Like diamonds. Diamonds are not as valuable as you think.
But Rihanna says they're forever. Is she lying to
me? Diamonds in the sky.
Diamonds are forever. Isn't that what she said? Or that's another song?
It's a different song.
But she
sings Bright Like a Diamond.
Oh. Then who told diamonds are forever? That lying son of a bitch.
Yeah, they're not. It was a thing that like diamonds really have no value. Like, think about it. They're used in industrial equipment all the time.
But not because they're super durable.
No.
Huh, well, that sucks.
They're not even that uncommon anymore.
Yeah.
Like when you buy something that's got diamonds in it, you're buying it just because of the name diamond,
Just because of the brand,
the branding of it.
the
Yeah.
diamond brand.
Yeah.
Diamond studded condoms.
Like there's other materials that are much more rare and much more valuable.
Like common sense.
That now is worth more than 100 diamonds.
Quantity. Yeah, so basically I'm like, hey, Melvin, you're talking weird, but I understand what you're saying. I gotta get me my guns instead of butter. Doesn't mean I don't want to have a nice wardrobe though. I gotta plan to make a fucking banging wardrobe someday. I fluctuate so much in weight. I'm so fat and skinny sometimes. Like at the time I fucking switch to buy new clothes, I'm fucking out of the shape for those. So that's going on with Mel. So that's those problems are going on with at home, and then on the other side, he's in a relationship with Yvette, who is the daughter of his son, and they have just a fucking unbelievable amount of problems. Like, I guess she's worried that he keeps cheating on her. He is all the time. If Jody's good at anything, it's getting laid. With almost like every woman in the fucking, except for his mom, thankfully.
No, because Melvin's crushing that.
Giving that ass African squat fuck.
He's doing things that nobody's even heard of.
Yeah, like I thought about like I learned this in Africa or something. I don't know where the fuck you learned it from. Then one time they're having some weird argument and she's fucking telling him that she fucking hates him and to leave her life, all this shit, right? She is just cussing him out. So he's like, all right, I'm out of here. He leaves her apartment because he doesn't want to live with her, which is what she wants. Him, her, and their son. He wants to still live at his home, you know, have no job, pay no rent, all that good stuff.
The easy life.
Sounds awesome. I still got to pay bills even though I'm here. So they just have this weird, like, it's like almost like a childish, like, I hate you too. And as he's leaving the apartment, and I'm like, okay, so where's the fucking cap on this? Because they just keep getting louder and louder. First of all, she flinches a lot when he gets close to her when they're arguing, which means that she must have got hit a lot back in a different relationship because she's worried. Even though he said he never hit her, his step fear is there for her because she keeps flinching every time. And so finally, they look dead in each other's eyes. Like, I hate you. It's like, so what you gonna do about it? And then they fucking immediately, the scene fucking flips and they're just banging away. They're just fucking banging away. And fucking Jody's just like, you like that dick? And she's like, I love that dick. Like, you like that daddy dick? Like, I love that daddy dick. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying right now? He's fucking screaming like, you gonna clean this apartment up? She's like, I'm gonna clean. You gotta cook me my tacos. I'll cook you your tacos. It's just the randomest fucking sex talk I've ever heard. Almost as much as that one that I told you about, where it's like, who got me that beer? I got you that. It's pretty much that. So they're just banging away, right? And I guess he bangs her so well that when they're done, she goes into the fucking living room and cleans up the whole fucking apartment. And she cooks him these tacos that he's eating later, right? But let me tell you right now, those tacos, they were some dry ass looking tacos. Nothing against Javette, but that girl cannot cook tacos. It was just the fucking beef and like the fucking tortilla.
Were they like Jamie Oliver style tacos where it's like nobody would ever want that shit?
It's just dry. Like I'm surprised Jody was like,
Water.
Like, where's the fucking lettuce, the salsa, you know, like a little bit of lemon squeezed on top for zest. I could have taught her how to cook some tacos. She's just like, they look so dry. Like my mouth was drying up watching it. You know? I'm like, oh boy. All right, so Jody wants he needs a job. So instead of going out and applying for a job, he's like, you know what I should do? Sell women's clothes. So he somehow meets some people on a truck. Like a little like contact, and they slide him clothes off the supply truck, and then he gives some money, and then he's making like a great market. He's basically bootlegging clothes, and he's selling them all to these women. He's making like $400 for like a rack of clothes. So that's his business. He's making a lot of money. And his friend Sweet Pea's upset because he's like, yo, I thought we were friends. Like, why don't you get me a job? Like he wants to work with him selling clothes. So he gives Sweet Pea a job to sell some clothes. He gives him, all right, I'm going to give you one article of clothing. If you can sell that, then we can talk business. He's like, all right. So he gives him a fucking dress. And then fucking, we'll see Sweet Pea on the fucking sidewalk. Yeah, you want this dress? Hey, who wants this dress? Just randomly trying to sell a dress to a woman. And he finally gets her attention, right? Because he tells her she looks like Tyra Banks, and she's all excited. And then she asks him, so what kind of material is this? Like, bitch, do you want this dress or not? Fucking ruins the whole fucking transaction. So eventually, Jody, because his mom Juanita wanted a garden, so that's if throughout the whole movie she's growing her garden, and you can see like that's how they show you how time's passing. I guess is by how big
How the garden looks.
yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger, and finally she's got it to the point that she likes it. And then while she's digging up some weed, she finds some weed, and she's like, "Oh, I can't believe Jody did this." So she blames Jody, and Jody's like, "That wasn't me, Mama." And he tells him probably Melvin. So they wait that night for Melvin to get home. And yes, Melvin did plant that weed. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I made a mistake." And she just lets it go. And then fucking Jody flips out. Like, I was about to get fucking tossed out this house. But then Melvin, and you know, that the whole thing, right? And they get into an argument. And then Jody tries to, he pushes Melvin. And Melvin knocks him the fuck out into a fucking glass table. It shatters to pieces. He's just laying there like, ah.
So he's gotten choked out. He's got the fun beat out of him.
He saw some bare ass. And then finally Jody leaves. Because Melvin wanted to leave because like, I can't live like this. Like this man wants to get me, like, I got 2 strikes. He wants to go to jail forever. Like, he's flipping out because he wanted to kill Jody at that point. But somehow they calm down. Jody leaves. It's like, if I don't call him if he starts beating your ass. Damn, my jaw hurts. And he leaves and he goes to spend I guess live with Sweet Pea. Because before that, he had that's pretty much, before that, he had a real argument with Yvette. Because she found some condoms in the car, her car basically, that he's been driving around. And they got into a huge argument. And he wanted to leave the apartments to have her cool off, but she fucking punched him in the face. So he's like, oh, and
So everybody's been punching.
yeah, back he gets socked a lot now that I think about it. So like he slaps her in the face. Like because she keeps punching him, right? And she fucking crumbles like a sack of potatoes. Like, ah. Immediately has a black eye. And fucking Jody will get taken fucking socked in the mouth constantly. So she's fucking bawling on the ground. Like, he's all fucking upset about it because he didn't mean to hit her. He picks her up and tries to take her to the bedroom, and she fights him off, and she runs to the bedroom anyway. So I don't know what the fuck the point of that was for. He goes to the bedroom, and in his fucking brilliant mind, like, this will fix everything, he goes down to her, and then he leaves. I'm like, what the fuck? That was the randomest shit I've ever seen. Like, she screams Jody as she orgasms, and he's fucking gone. It's like, my work here is done. And he fucking dips. So now he can't go home. Yvette fucking hates him. And this actually happened before the altercation with Melvin, because he was still at home at that time. But now, up to this point, now he's with Sweet Pea. Everywhere he goes, he gets fucking his ass beat. And one day, talk about ass whooping. One day he goes to the supermarket, the convenience store to get some Alizé, like Alizé a day, like 1 Alizé a day or some shit, like he says. And he goes out because he had just broken up with Yvette. This was after the assault fiasco.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's riding his bike now, his bicycle, and some kid is riding his bike around the parking lot. He's like, "Yo, my bike!" So he tries to chase that guy, and then another guy behind him grabs his Alizé, like, "My Alizé!" So then he runs after the guy with his Alizé, but there's like 5 or 6 of them, right? And it's like, "Oh, you don't want to fight us?" Like, you guys ain't gonna do nothing. And then one of the kids is like, "I'm Looney Tunes." And then Jody's like, "So what?" Like, so? No, he says, "So do something." I can't convey to you like how it happened, right? He's like, "So do something." So they all jump him and beat his ass. In my head, the way I see it, right? He said, "So do something." Here's what I saw. He said, "So," and as he said, "So," they're already around him in a circle. He said something, and they were all already beating the shit out of him. And then he said, "So," he said, "Do." And then when he said something, he's laying on the ground. So in my head, like, he said, "So," and as he said something, he was getting his ass beat. That's how fast it looked like, because that's how fast it was. He said, "So do something," and they beat the shit out of him. But in my head, it happened as he was saying.
As he's saying the line.
He's like, so, and then he's already getting his ass beat halfway through something. I'm like, God. And then they leave him his bike too. Like, don't want your broke ass.
They took the Alizé.
Of course, they took the Alizé. They were too young to buy it, probably. Come to think of it, so was he. He's only 20. That'd be 21.
Where did it take place in California, right?
Yeah.
And it took place in 2001.
2000. I guess they would have filmed it in 2000, right? And then released it in 01.
Where the drinking was the drinking age 21 there at the time?
I don't fucking know.
I don't either.
I know the age of consent in Japan was 13 till 6 months ago, you freaks. I didn't want to read that article in the Economist, but there you are.
Then you might not want to know what it is in some of these other places.
I don't want to know that. So they beat his ass, and he fucking riding his bike back to Sweet Pea's house. Like, Sweet Pea, they beat my ass. Like, who beat your ass? These little kids. He's like, they don't kids. So they roll up on these kids. They're in a park. Oh, they're more like teenagers, not kids, but to them they're youngsters.
Yeah.
And Sweet Pea, so they find them in the park, and they park in the edge of the street, and then Sweet Pea gets out by himself and comes up to these kids, right? And he pretends to be super drunk, like, what you guys doing? Hi, what's it? And then like right when they drop their guard, he fucking pulls a gun on him. And then one of them starts running, then fucking Jody comes up with his own gun, and then they line them up in a fucking row, and they're like, well, what do we got here? Jody kept saying, like, this is the one that tried to steal my Alizé. And I'm like, he did steal your Alizé. He tried. And he had it. They were drinking it as we speak. So they want to teach him a lesson. So Jody punches one of them. He's like, oh, fuck my hand. And Sweet Pea gets mad as fuck. Like, Jody, you telling me his fucking tooth is stronger than your fist? Because he's like, I must have hit a tooth or something. But let me show you how to knock somebody out. And like, I guess it's like some little solid advice. Like, you want to either go for the nose or the eye. And you got to get real close up to him, right? And then you got to get real close on him. And then reel back a little bit. And then boom. And he fucking socks one of the kids. The kid's like, oh. He's fucking done. He's like, oh. And then Jody, the first guy that Jody punched, he like, get back up. Like, oh, come on, my jaw's hurting. Like, get your bitch ass back up. He gets back up and he socks him again. But the way Jody punches looks so ineffective compared to the way P punched. Like, he was knocking him the fuck out. Like, he was doing like a solid, like, just like a, like more force from little distance. Just boom, boom. Like very, very, efficient. Yeah, like no haymakers, like a straight shot, boom. And then they got to the last kid, right? He's like, don't flinch, you get two. And the kid puts his chin up, like, oh, look at this guy. He's got some, he said something like, he's got some spunk or something. And they go, oh, I ain't gonna hit you, homie. He fucking takes his belt off and starts whipping him with him. Like, he starts whipping the shit out of this one guy. Like, just like, and then like, I don't know what I told him what he said. Like, I could have went like, say you're my bitch. Like, oh, I'm your bitch or some shit like that. He's whipping the fuck out of this kid with his belt. Man, it's such a weird movie. It's a good movie, but it's fucking weird. It gets crazier. Like, after Yvette and Jody break up, fucking Snoop Dogg gets out of prison. His character's name is Rodney, and he just happens to end up at her fucking apartment. Like, he just comes in and doesn't leave. I don't know why she doesn't have the police come in and take him or whatever. What the fuck? Like, he's just there.
He's just there.
Yeah, like, and she never invited him because she used to talk to him on the phone because they used to be boyfriend and girlfriend before he went to jail. Then she met Jody and ignored him. But while she was having problems with Jody, she would call him on the phone and send him letters about Jody and her problems. I'm like, hey, you can't do that, girl.
And she didn't expect him to come by?
And he fucking just shows up. Like, I always forget how tall Snoop Dogg is till I see him around other people.
Yeah, he is really tall.
And, yeah, so at one point, like, he wants to get, he almost rapes Yvette. But because Jody's son's there, thankfully he does it. And she goes and tells Jody about it. And him and Sweet Pea were real meticulous about it, too. Like, they were getting their guns together, right? But every bullet and the mag they were wrapping it in like bandanas because they were like rubbing down every bullet for fingerprints and all. Like, nothing was gonna be back to them. I was like, oh man, they're gonna kill him. Ain't no coming back to them. You know what I mean? But Jody's like, oh man, I can't do this. I'm not a killer. And Sweet Pea's like, oh, that's all right, homie. Like, you know what I want to do? I want to get baptized. I want to change my life around. Because him and Jody had a conversation a while back about like, because Jody found his calling was selling women's clothes, like, because he's just good with women. And so he finally asked Sweet Pea, like, Sweet Pea, just like, what are you good at? Like, what do you enjoy doing? Like, just think about it, and like, that's what you should be doing in life. And he's like, so like Jody's like, well, so what are you good at? And Sweet Pea's like, robbing people. But he doesn't want to do that anymore. He wants to, he basically wants to be baptized and become religious.
So he wants to be a church preacher where he just robs people?
I guess technically, yeah. So they go up to the front porch because they're trying to figure out what to do. Because Jody had told Yvette to get her stuff and come back to Sweet Pea's house because she couldn't stay there anymore. Rodney was there.
Yeah.
And Rodney had just stolen her car. So when her car pulls up to the park to Sweet Pea's house, Jody thinks it's her. But when the fucking windows come down and they fucking peel forward, they start fucking blasting Jody. Now Sweet Pea is the real gangster because he fucking pops up, already has a gun in his hand, blasting back. Jody just stands there getting shot like, no! And then Sweet Pea, the car fucking pulls off, and Sweet Pea follows the car like to the street and starts blasting, like he's blasting. Like, I don't know if I'd have that fucking efficiency to start shooting. I'd probably be the first one to be dead. I'd probably be Jody. Fucking dead. So Sweet Pea's like, no. So he goes back and he looks at Sweet Pea's girlfriend and is freaking out in the car because there's fucking like bullet holes all over the fucking frame of the door. Like they were blasting him. And he goes to check on, she's freaking out because she's like, how's Jody doing? And he goes and check on Jody, but Jody's 100% fine. He didn't get shot at all. Like, it showed him getting shot sequence, but that was what he imagined in his head. And then they showed his real sequence was like when they fucking turned toward when they leveled at the house and started shooting, he had dove behind a tree basically into the ground, so they missed him completely. And he was all mad like, damn it, I almost died right there. Like, he almost fucking died. So Rodney gets back to the apartment, and the lights don't work. He's like, what the hell? And then, like, he's screaming for Yvette. Yvette's gone. So he's like, and he goes outside. He starts looking around, and all the other apartments have their lights on, but not the rooms or 7 where he's at. So he goes down to the breaker, and he's looking like he opens up a little like a lighter to see the fucking light. Mm-hmm. And he's looking at the breaker. He's like, what the fuck? And he realizes that one of them's turned off, and he turns off both of them. Like, there we go. And when he fucking closes the breaker and turns, fucking Jody's standing right there. And he's like, Rodney's like, what, you think I'm scared or something? And then like he feels something behind him. He turns around and Sweet Pea's behind him. That's when he actually got scared because that's the one that actually started shooting. So he's like, oh, and he fucking socks Jody. Jody's been punched like 5 times in this fucking movie. And Rodney starts fucking booking it to just fucking sock Jody. He always gets punched like right to left. He always gets punched in the left side of his fucking face too, by the way. Is what I'm starting to realize.
The left side of his face just fucked.
Oh, fuck, dog. So they start running. Rodney's running. Jody and P are behind him, and Jody's able to get some shots off, and he actually hits Rodney in his legs. So he's like, oh, no. He fucking falls, and they walk up to him, and Sweet Pea's like, all right, Jody, take care of it. And Jody's like, he freaks out, and he doesn't shoot him. And the second he puts his gun down, right, like, I can't do it. Like, there's no words, right? But like the whole inner monologue between, like, it's almost like a telepathic, like Sweet Pea knows he's not gonna shoot him, right? Yeah. The second he just looks over for like a split second, turns over, and fucking blows Rodney away. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, God dang, Sweet Pea. Like, he is a straight savage in this movie. Just immediately kills like Rodney. Rodney's like, do it, man. I've done everything in this world but see Jesus. And then Sweet Pea's like, okay.
Now you get to meet him.
Unless you go to hell. Then you get to hear about him. And that's basically the whole movie. And Jody ends up getting married to Yvette. They move in together. Keep selling women's clothes. His mom and Melvin are in a good place because he's actually a good man now. He's changed. Sweet Pea gets back.
Beat the fuck out
of his first. Well, he only punched him once.
Jody choked his ass out too.
Hey man, he had to put him in his place.
Dominance.
That's right, cry to your mama. That's actually a meme on TikTok for a while.
Cry to your mama.
That's right, cry to your mama. So and fucking Sweepy gets baptized, absolved of all his sins. He's like, hallelujah. I wish they'd do a spin-off with Sweepy being like back into the gang life.
After leaving the church.
Yeah, like he's such a good like interesting character, especially the fact that he was able to trick those kids into thinking he was a drunk, and then when they dropped their guard, he pulled the gun on them. He make like somehow he gets pulled in like the spy game. It's like, oh, I don't work for the government. Like if you work for the government, we'll absolve all your crimes. Like, God dang, here we go. Just some spin-off would have been great, but now it's like too late. It's fucking 20 fucking 2 years later.
Old man.
Like an old man, Omar Gooding, if that's his name. I don't know why I think it's Omar. But, yeah, check it out. I don't know what else to say. I got his ass imprinted in my fucking brain. Because I've seen that movie before.
Yeah.
But always edited on TV.
And not the actual version.
Yeah, like I've never seen, like I watched it on Tubi a couple days ago. Just like the full fucking form TV. It's fucking wild.
Huh?
Well, that's it, everybody. Tune in next time for more movies.
Anything else to add before we head out?
Yeah, it's funny in retrospect what I realized what happened, like him getting punched like 3 or 4 times. Like when you talk about it, you realize the correlations in the movie. It's funny. Like, he really did get socked in on the left side of his face like 3 times from like 3 different people.
I'm sure he's got hairline fractures and
Like he's like that one side of his fucking face is just like a perfect target. Yvette hit him there, Melvin hit him there, and Rodney hit him there. The kids that beat him up, they all beat him. They just stomped him out.
that they included that area as well, just everything else too.
Yeah, they basically added all of it.
All right. Well, with that, we will see you guys on the next one.
Adios.